Everything today is being leveraged, if not actually weaponized. The world is then confronted with the prospect of securing itself in an increasingly volatile and unpredictable environment. Friends, access to opportunity has been another area of tremendous progress in a period of unprecedented change. Three examples stand out in this decade in terms of challenges: the COVID pandemic, conflicts, and climate change. Each of them has impacted our daily lives to an unimaginable degree. The pandemic, in fact, transformed the very manner in which we worked and we lived, holding its own lessons. As for conflicts, their impact on even distant societies have been profound, a testimony to how deep globalization has now become. Where climate change is concerned, the growing frequency of extreme climate events and the steady erosion of our natural habitat pose both short and long-term concerns. The turbulence in the world currently is also structural in many ways. The global order is changing before our very eyes, with visible shifts in the relative power and influence of countries. The politics of some societies find it difficult to come to terms with these changes. New developments in technology, in energy, in military capabilities, in connectivity and in resources have encouraged risk-taking in an increasingly competitive environment. Everything today is being leveraged, if not actually weaponized. The world is then confronted with the prospect of securing itself in an increasingly volatile and unpredictable environment. We are, after all, now among the top 5 economies. No one can dispute that the multiple global shocks that have recently tested our resilience, and that India has come through that solidly. We have managed both domestic and external challenges fairly successfully. Nation building is obviously an extremely complex task with many dimensions. But a cross-cutting aspect is the strength and dynamism of our businesses. You will note that in our endeavor to catch up for the lost decades of the past, a crucial initiative is now making it easier to do business. Even that is only possible when the enabling environment is more positive. Creating an infrastructure appropriate for a competitive economy is also a very crucial element. And you can see that when it comes to the development underway of highways, of railways, of ports and airports, of waterways. So the point I wish to stress is that good governance is also equally important, made possible today by digital tools as much as by leadership. Ensuring ease of living has become a continuous exercise of betterment. Friends, access to opportunity has been another area of tremendous progress, be it for small businesses, entrepreneurs, or indeed for startups. Skills, talents, and education are being nurtured, with institutions doubling across the country in the last decade. As for technology, the growth of innovation, increase in entrepreneurship, and enthusiasm for its deployment can combine to strengthen our position. India must and India will make both its numbers and its diversity count. Today's businesses require a sound understanding of the world's complexity. In that sense, your world and mine do intersect substantially. Leave alone those who trade or who invest abroad. Even those at home are now increasingly exposed to external products, partners, and services. It is therefore vital that we understand the approach and behavior of different nations and cultures. I would urge you all to take a deep interest in global happenings. It is not only interesting in itself, but I promise you it will be very rewarding for you professionally. This is an era of a global marketplace. Not just that, it is also an era of a global workforce. And you should be ready for both.